You want to talk about food? I want to talk about food. Let's talk about food. what, what else are we going to do? We got nothing else to do.
All right, everybody,
Let's go.
welcome back to another episode of Nikki Talks Food. I am Nikki Patinio, your host. This is a podcast where I talk about food and all things food related, sometimes with guests, sometimes not. So let's get started. We usually start with a little bit of a catch-up sesh. I got really nothing to catch up on, whatever. I haven't been doing that much interesting stuff lately, so we'll just move on to what I'm over.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, so I always talk about something that I'm over and then something I'm here for. What I'm over this week is grocery store storm sounds when they spray the vegetables. This is not a rainforest cafe, okay? I don't understand how we got here to when you're grocery shopping and you're picking up your carrots and they're legitimately, I mean, I understand it's a warning sound to let you know that they're going to spray the vegetables from above. You know, they're going to mist the vegetables to keep them fresh and moist and delicious and crispy and all that jazz. But I don't understand at what point some marketing genius was like, you know what, we're gonna add thunderstorm sounds. I just think it's so tacky-tastic. Like this is not a rainforest cafe. I don't know if it's like left over from like we thought maybe it was cool in the early 2000s. I could see that maybe being like a thing that excited people, but I would love to be a fly on the wall when this intentional plan came together. The speakers, the right sounds of the rainforest. It just boggles my mind. I want to know what demographic that marketing genius was targeting when they said we're going to make the produce department sound like a rainforest. I just don't get it. And I do think that it used to be that the lights would kind of like flash a little bit like a fake lightning, you know, like a faux lightning. I just don't need it. I don't need it. Like, who is shopping for carrots and then pausing and thinking, this is what an experience. Like, who's doing that? Was there a focus group involved? I want to know. Was there a focus group? They gathered a group together, and the group was like, yes, if there was thunderstorm sounds, I would buy more cauliflower. I don't know. I don't get it. How did we get here? And I also want to know who's maintaining these types of things. So like you have wear and tear, you know? Plus also there's a lot of moisture there. So when a speaker goes out, are they like, oh, we got to order another speaker. We got to go to Best Buy. Billy, go to Best Buy. Get us another Bose speaker. Because, you know, it's probably got to be good. I mean, it does sound pretty quality, these thunderstorms and lightning storms when you are shopping in the produce department. I don't know if that's a Florida thing or if it's nationwide. Let me know in the comments what you think. I just don't think it's necessary. I get that it's it's a forewarning, like it's like, ooh, boom crash, just letting you know we're gonna miss these vegetables so that you're not like caught off guard. But I don't ever remember shopping for vegetables and being squirted in a way that was too much, and that like when the misting starts, I had to back up or something like that. Like, thank God they warned me. Thank God the thunderstorm sound was there, because if it wasn't, I would have gotten squirted. I just don't understand it. I've never been phased. I've never been phased by the misters. I've never been phased to where I need a warning letting me know it's coming on. So that's what I'm over. I'm over that. In fact, I've been really paying attention to it every time I shop. And you guys know I shop a lot. I shop a lot because I do a tremendous amount of cooking. You know, I teach classes at different kitchen stores in town. I make content videos. You know, I write recipes for my spice company. You know, I'm constantly shopping. I'm constantly at the grocery store. And I've just been paying attention to that frickin' thunderstorm sound. And every time I hear it, I get more and more annoyed. When is that going to end? And then what I want to know what the next phase of that is. Like, we got to this point where we're making thunderstorm sounds. Okay, while you're shopping for carrots. Okay, that happened. What's the next phase? What's the next step for the future? Is this going to continue? What what comes after thunderstorm sounds? You let me know what you think. Also, I would love a cost analysis. It's got to cost something, you know. It's got to cost something for maintenance on the thunderstorm sounds. And what's the return on investment on these thunderstorm sounds in the produce department? I would like a cost analysis. What does it cost? What does the GM of a grocery store allocate to their budget yearly for the thunderstorm sounds? I want to know. And if this all ends up being as a forewarning that the misters are coming on for the visually impaired, I apologize ahead of time profusely, but I just can't no, I'm not going to say that. I just can't imagine that that would be the case. Why do we have it? Why the rainforest sounds? Do you guys remember Rainforest Cafe? Oh my god. I don't think they have those. Maybe they do. I don't know. They had it in South Florida at the Sawgrass Mills Mall, and boy, was that place packed all the time. The worst food ever. So expensive, but the ambiance, we loved it. So tacky-tastic. But when I'm shopping, I don't want to feel like I'm in a Rainforest Cafe. I just don't. Maybe the evolution of the rainforest sounds would be, I don't know, songs, maybe commercials, maybe a jingle. Maybe that would be the evolution. But I think we're at a point where it's like white noise, you know, it happens and you may notice it, you may not. But I notice it every time now. And I just am so excited for the future to see where we go from here. Does it stop? Does it stop altogether? No more rainforest sounds? Or will it be different? I don't know. But I'm over it. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. I just can't take it anymore. It grinds my gears. Cooking like a pro is so easy with Pro Seasoning. This is my company. I started it from the ground up. It's called Pro Seasoning. My all-purpose spice is made with Himalayan pink salt. There are no anti-caking agents other than ground up rice. It's all natural. It's made with really high quality ingredients and it's small batch. My steak seasoning is called Pro Seasoning Steak. It's made with porcini mushroom. It has chunks of Himalayan pink salt, cracked black pepper, shallots, porcini mushroom. It is my opus to a great steak. Pro Seasoning Barbecue is made with coffee. It's got a little bit of cinnamon in it. It's got sea salt. There is nothing like it on the market. I can guarantee you that. I also have gochugaru flakes. I have really cool stuff like vinegar powder. Check out my website, chefnikki.net, and order today. So that's what I'm over this week. What I'm here for. What I'm here for is creator, and I've been following this creator for probably since the 2020, since the pandemic. Chelsea Rose Fitzy. Shout out to Chelsea Rose Fitzy. I think, I'm not sure on Instagram, but definitely on TikTok. Her content is mostly on restaurant humor, and it is absolutely on the nose. It is so funny. She works in hospitality in the Northeast, so I think I want to say like Cape Cod, the Cape Cod area, which has a very specific clientele, vacationers, certain, in Florida we don't really close. We're never closed, as far as like we don't close for off season, but they close for off season because of snow and things like that. And so it's very specific. The accents are hilarious. Check her out if you want to laugh at some funny skits. I'm gonna play one for you. She has, and this might be, you guys might find this interesting too. She has a skit, an ongoing skit about a ghost that haunts a restaurant in Cape Cod, and it is so funny. But she has all these characters. She has Charlie the chef. She has Lenore, who is like an old. She is a mature woman, and it is like so on the nose as far as the reading glasses and the thank you. Like it is so good. Okay, let's see if I can find one. Here's one. Let's see if this is funny.
No, next. I'm sorry, I don't do patties at 7. It's just policy.
But there's an 8 top. Why?
It was 7th day of the 7th month of 1997 at 7 p.m. And the only table open which was Table 7. They sat down and they ordered 777. And started to get a little freaked out. And wouldn't you get freaked out? 7, 7, and 7 to 7 p.m. to 7 people? What are we doing? It's the 7th of July. And they asked for a birthday and the little son was turning 7. I was so scared. And that night, after they left, the kitchen burnt down.
Oh.
7
well, that makes sense.
hours for that fire to get put out.
I wouldn't see them either.
So I don't take patties at 7.
She doesn't take patties. No. Next. The unhinged Bloody Mary is really hilarious. and it is like rooted in what is happening with Bloody Marys right now, which I'm like 2 seconds away from making the obnoxious Bloody Marys a thing that I'm over, because a whole roasted chicken on this is ridiculous. So really on the nose, really funny stuff. I am completely tickled by this creator. She is very, very funny. So you got to check her out. Which brings me to our topic today. Our topic today is kitchen humor. And I just said kitchen humor, but the thing is like I would consider this any humor in food and beverage. And this is inclusive of event planners, events, weddings, catering, anything in food and beverage. I'm not sure about hotels. I don't know a lot about hotels because I've never ever worked in a hotel. So I'm not sure if the I think the restaurant humor is the same in the restaurants, like the cooks and stuff like that for sure. But I'm not sure about like the front, the staff. I don't know. I don't know about that. But I was thinking about, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but the biggest insult in a kitchen that a kitchen worker, a chef, a cook, whatever, can say to another kitchen employee is that they're a shoemaker, which is really hilarious to me. So here's how you get the insult. Okay, so let's say I taught a line cook how to make steak au pois, and I've taught them several times, and I'm like, you sear the steak, you take the steak out, you freaking flambe the cognac, you put the cream in, you reduce it, you finish with butter, and every time they break the sauce or they over reduce, or it's just no love in that food, and this can happen sometimes where the person is a cook and they're just like kind of like they're just standing there, they're not really putting any kind of love or effort into the food, and those people we would call shoemakers. They're a shoemaker. It is the biggest insult in the kitchen. And I just thought it would be like funny for you guys to know that that's what we say. We go, "Oh, you're a shoemaker." It's also like somebody who's not cut out for food and beverage, they're a shoemaker. Because they should be doing something else like making shoes. Not that shoemakers, I mean, being a cobbler, I mean, I follow tons of cobblers on TikTok. It is very, very fascinating. But they're not making steak, they're making shoes. So there is the difference. You can also like razz one another with that term, and you can be like, tastes like a shoemaker made it. What are you, a shoemaker? I love it. I love that insult. It is very old school. I don't know if like it's if the younger kids in the kitchen are saying this, but definitely, I mean, if you go like to even a really high-end culinary school and you're effing up, they're going to call you a shoemaker. Which I think is hilarious. I also love the tapestry of people that work in food and beverage. In the front of the house, they're generally very outgoing people. They generally have great banter, and they're used to riffing with the guests when they have to. A good server is going to know when to riff with the guests and banter with the guests and when to leave them the hell alone. And you've got all kinds of people that make up the front of the house. You got people that are career servers, people that are side gigging. You got teachers that are trying to make a living wage, and God knows that they don't get paid enough. I mean, what do they get? It's like $42,000 a year. A house costs $500,000. And so how in the world does anyone expect them to be able to afford a house? So you've got teachers just trying to, and they're coming after school and waiting tables or bartending and all that. So this beautiful woven together force of personalities, they say funny stuff. And then when you combine that with the interesting personalities in the kitchen, you have like a perfect storm for hilarity. Like it can be very, very funny. It can be very fun to work in restaurants and food and beverage. You're not sitting behind a desk. You're actively engaging with one another 100% of the time that you are working. You're just engaging with people. And so again, the banter is amazing. The jokes are flying. They're not boring people. A lot of them are working insane hours. They might have 2 restaurant gigs. They may have they, like I said, they might be teaching during the day and then at night. And so by then their patience is like nil, you know? And so it just makes a funny environment because I don't think it's not like everybody is pissy because they're working that second job. A lot of times the edge has been shaved off during the day, and then by the time they get to the restaurant, they're ready to play. They're ready to rock. They know they're going to just wait tables. It's like a no brainer. You're gonna cook food. You're gonna fry fries, whatever. And so you just become a little bit more relaxed in your environment, and it just is a fun place to be. We used to say like the people that were like, on their third double, fourth double, be like, dude, you're shot out. You're just shot out. Because by that time there's not making any sense, and they're just they're just doing dumb stuff. And then the guests that come in are also wild. I had so many regulars that were just beyond amazing. We had this guy, we called him Mudslide. And one up for Mudslide, he's no longer with us, but not because of what I'm about to tell you. Mudslide would come into the restaurant. He would have a mudslide, but it wasn't like a mudslide you'd get at like Fridays, with ice cream and stuff like that. It was like a 16-ounce Collins glass, So it's a 16-ounce Collins glass you fill with ice, and then you put 3 fingers of Grey Goose, right? Which means, like, if somebody says 3 fingers, it would be from the bottom of the glass to where your fingers are. 3 fingers of Grey Goose. Then we'd fill the rest of the way with Bailey's, and then we'd put a splash of Kahlua and mix it up, and that was his drink. So it was all booze. So he would have like a bunch of those, and he would go, and then sometimes he would have a half of one. He called it a mini. I'll take a mini. Can I have a mini? And he'd drink those all night long. He'd be there all night long, politicking, talking to people, In between those mudslides, he would do chilled shots of Patron. Like, chilled shots of Patron. Like, that was just so wild. I would be on the floor. There would be no way. And he was fine. He was fine. Like, he never really, we used to, like, he was such a like a member of the family almost, that, I mean, like, if we had like big, huge vegetables that came in, like, sometimes like these commercial vegetable, big, huge carrot or a big squash or something like that. One of the guys would drive by Mudslide's house and put that big squash in his mailbox, which is hilarious because, like, he thought it was funny. We all thought it was funny. You know what I mean? That's just like, that's what restaurants are. You do weird stuff like that. And it's just unlike any other job in the world. I also, okay, listen to this. This is a weird, okay. So when I was bartending at the same place that Mudslide would come to, and this is how I learned never to keep my keys on a bar. This guy came in by himself, and he had an appetizer. He had a couple of glasses of wine. He had a steak, and then he ordered dessert. And he took like a bite of dessert, and he said, "Don't take this. I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom." So he left, and I mean, I wasn't watching him go to the bathroom, but then he just never came back. And I was like, "Oh my God, this guy freaking dined and dashed." Well, like 30 minutes later, another guy, different guy, comes up to the bar and he goes, "Hey, did you find any car keys? I left my car keys here." Well, that car was stolen. So it appeared as though the guy at the bar casually, I mean, I would talk to him casually, had a whole dinner. At some point, he snaked this guy's car keys. It was a BMW. Snaked the car keys and stole the car. And that was it. So he got dinner and a car. That's so wild. Like, I can't even imagine being that slick. I'm so loud when I do anything. And first of all, I don't, that would be, that I would never. But that is just bananas, man. That's restaurants. The weirdest shit happens. So I let some of my listeners know, and you guys can follow me on Nikki Talks Food on Facebook. I put up a short video saying that this was going to be a topic. So I got some comments. I'm going to read you some of the comments about I let everybody know that the topic was kitchen humor, restaurant humor. So share me some stories. So they did. So Daniela, and this is from my Facebook page, Nikki Talks Food. Daniela and I worked together for many years. We worked at two different restaurants together. We worked at RJ Gators and this restaurant. I'm not gonna tell you where she works now, but um, she said, when we first started making braised red cabbage, I featured it to a table. I said it was reduced in port wine and topped off with famunda cheese. And the wife at the table looked perplexed, turns to the husband and said, I didn't think that was a real cheese. I got so red and said, it isn't, ma'am. I messed up. It's topped with Montrachet, Montrachet goat cheese. I was so embarrassed. She also added, this summer we started featuring summer succotash. I don't know how many times I told the table we were featuring suffering succotash instead of summer succotash. You know, these things that you get freaking, you know, and you're just thinking about other stuff, and something kind of bubbles to the surface, and oopsie, I said something I shouldn't have said. Chris says, we like to plug the faucet and open the eye wash full blast and catch the new guys when they go to wash their hands. so, so, I mean, you know, that's typical. I mean, you gotta break up the, you know, you're working a lot of hours and stuff. You gotta have some fun. And so, yeah, we used to do the craziest stuff, like, tell new cooks that you need a quart container full of steam, left-handed tongs. They need to go, hey, go grab me some left-handed tongs. Servers in the front, we would make them empty the hot water out of the coffee machine. And then I distinctly remember, like, walking up on that and somebody being like, he's almost done. This kid's like freaking empty. Eventually it'll run cold, but it takes a really long time, and it's also unnecessary. Like, it just stays there. You don't need to empty the hot water. When we got the espresso machine, circa like 2002, like, we got an espresso machine for this restaurant, and it would cough up these little pucks of spent espresso grounds, and it looked like chocolate cake, a little chocolate cake. And some really mean servers would put whipped cream on it and pretend to eat it, and then a new person come by and, hey, you want a bite? And eat the coffee. Here's a funny one. Anonymous. I'm gonna keep this person anonymous because this is kind of on the nose, so I don't want to dox anybody. We had a cook that was a juggalo, and I was like, not a gigolo, right? And she goes, no, a juggalo. So a juggalo, if you don't know, they're part of the insane clown posse. So clown, like, but like, okay, so they're like thug clown. I don't know how else to describe what like an insane clown posse. They're like, oh, it's a way of life. Like, you know, they got the makeup on, there's, you know, outfits and everything. There's you know, they have a whole thing. So he would come to they would come to work in full regalia, full clown outfit, full thug clown outfit, and work a shift. I don't even know what to say to that. You know, like, first of all, finding people that can cook and are willing to cook is really hard. And so you end up dealing with what you got. And so sometimes you have to lower the bar a little bit. So there, I guess that's how they ended up with that guy. Let me know in the comments if you have any funny stories from working in restaurants or food and beverage. I just get so tickled from these, and to be honest, everyone wants to hear it. So let us know. And you can, like, filter out whatever you want, you know, use other names, all that kind of stuff. Don't even tell us the restaurant it was at. Just, you be very, very vague. But I just get such a kick out of these stories. And to be honest, I think, you know, I watched The Bear. I think it's a great show. I think The Bear is phenomenal. I just think that one of the things that is missing is kitchen humor. It's very, very serious all the time. I've never worked in a Michelin star restaurant, so I really don't know, like, if that's, you know, if you're just completely just stone cold all the time. I can imagine that maybe that would be, but this place is, you know, it's transformed from whatever it was called, the Italian beef shop, to this restaurant that's striving for a Michelin star. So I just think that what's missing is is the on the nose kitchen humor stuff that you would see in a we would do things like take a latex glove, take a glove, a nitrile glove, and just fill it with water, and then put all the fingers down except for the middle finger and freeze it, and then like leave it for somebody in the freezer. I was talking to a friend today about this subject, and they were like, "Oh," she goes, "Oh, I have trust issues with swinging doors because what they'll do is block the door so that but where you can't see, and so you go to push the swinging door and it's like boom, and you just you get thrown back." So now she has like trust issues with swinging doors, which I think is really funny. Because you just kind of tap it now and get used to doing that. Like it's just so funny. I'm sure this guy that said that they plug the faucet and make the eye wash turn it on full blast and hose these people down. I'm sure they all have trust issues with the sink. It's just funny. Like, what are kitchens and what is food and beverage without a little trauma along the way? Hilarious stuff. You guys are animals, and I want to hear it. I want to hear all about the animal stuff you do. A manager one time told me that he's like, "You guys are like rats. You'll chew through anything to get to what you need." You know? And it's true. You just keep on going. You got to keep. Food and beverage is very very quick, very very quick. Quick decisions need to be made, and so you just keep on rocking. So we're like animals. We'll chew through whatever. We'll keep it going. So here's to all you freaks and geeks keeping it weird in food and beverage. Keep it weird. Have fun. Enjoy what you're doing. The guests know it. They know when you're happy. A happy kitchen, a happy restaurant is got happy guests coming in. So that's what I got for kitchen humor. Obviously, keep it safe. I know that there was a very big accident not too long ago involving Walmart and an oven. Details are still coming out about this horrible accident. This young lady was locked in the oven and was apparently is no longer with us. So I'm all for the hijinks, but if it involves, and I'm not saying that was hijinks involved. I don't know what happened. The police are still looking into what happened. It happened in Canada. If you're interested in the story, look it up. Really, weird, crazy things can happen in kitchens, so you got to be careful. But I'm all for just the mild ribbing, the practical jokes and stuff, as long as it's safe. Whatever, who cares? In other news, I did get a pellet smoker. I got a Pit Boss Navigator. It was on sale. I got it right from Pit Boss. I think it might be still on sale, so if you're interested, do what you got to do. But I'm super excited to start making content with this cool new smoker. It seemed pretty cool. The reason why I chose it was because it had a flame broil setting. Like you can kind of like get the food flame kissed with which the Traeger did not. So I did not go with the Traeger. I think this is more my speed. I've had smokers for forever. I just gave my electric smoker away to my neighbor because I got this new humongous. I don't need them both. So I've been smoking foods for a very long time. Uh, but so when I was shopping around, my gas grill kind of was rusted out, and I was like, I love charcoal. Ideally, I would like gas, charcoal, and pellet. You know what ended up doing was just refurbishing my gas grill. I was like, I'm not gonna throw this away. I just got new parts for it, and so really at the end of the day, I didn't need a new grill because I could have just done this anyway. But it was on sale and I couldn't resist. Thanksgiving is coming. Last year I smoked a whole turkey and I made a maple mustard garlic glaze for it. And I did two turkeys. Usually I do one huge turkey. I did two smaller ones because we always have a house full. Thanksgiving is my Super Bowl and I'm already getting started with it. I'm already doing mise en place. I already was like, my wife is so good with my neurodivergence. I get really hyper fixated on stuff. So every morning she's like, "What's it going to be today?" So the other day I woke her up and I was like, I want to get a bounce house for for Thanksgiving because we have the kids from different families, and I'm like, let's get a bounce house. It sounds so much fun. So we're gonna get a bounce house. I got the new smoker. I'm gonna do another turkey, one turkey, and then the other one I roast. But it is my Super Bowl. I just enjoy cooking all kinds of fun things and just feeding people. It is my day of glory. I love it. Please don't take it away from me. Uh, every year I make desserts. I make, I just love it. I love it. So I'm really excited. I'm already, like I said, mise en place, getting things in place for Thanksgiving. It just I love it. So I'm stoked to, like, I'm gonna put a whole chicken on that smoker tonight. Let's say I don't even want to call it a smoker. It's more like wood fire. I'm gonna put a whole chicken on that wood fire. It does have fire, which I really love. I love that feature. So I'm gonna wood fire a chicken tonight and a whole head of cauliflower, and that's gonna be our dinner. Protein and veg, protein and veg. Planning on in the next, because you guys know I do low carb. So there's some snacks that I have really started. I've been sifting through snacks. I try to eat whole foods when I can, but sometimes you need some chocolate, man. And so I want to show you guys what I eat. These are just recommendations as far as, like, this is what tastes good to me, but obviously go with what goes. Some of these things that are sugar free will make you crap your pants, so you got to be careful. Everything in moderation, but I am going to take you through the snacks that I do love, and that might be next episode. I'll do a little rundown on the things that sustain me and help me stay on my diet, and you know, because I'm not trying to be a supermodel. I'm just trying to control my blood sugar. That's the main thing. And my blood sugar's been fantastic all throughout the day. I do have that dawning phenomenon where my blood sugar is high in the morning. I don't have sugar at night or anything. I don't really eat late at night. I'll have a one of those 000 yogurts, but for some people, the dawning phenomenon happens, and that's when, like, around 5 o'clock in the morning, your cortisol levels raise and your blood sugar's higher. It's not terribly high. It's like 129 for me in the morning, but then it goes down. It's perfect the rest of the day. It is so far below, in the normal range. um when I eat at 2 hours after I eat all that stuff, it's perfect, but I have this dawning thing. So I don't know, I'm considering what do I do. Like, should I need to, like, maybe take the puppies for a walk in the morning, or if I lifted some weights, in the morning, that would probably be good. Or if I woke up at 5 and then lifted weights and maybe walked the dogs, that would probably be the ultimate way to reduce this blood sugar business in the morning. So I don't know. I'm still kind of kicking around with that, but so far my diet's been going pretty good. It's staying alive. I'm trying to stay alive. So we're doing that. So let me know if you want to know about my snacks. Let me know in the comments. And that's it for this episode. So thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Thanks, guys.